Let's see, let's check my sound.
Well, I just heard you on the stream.
Oh, wonderful. Hello everybody, welcome some more Dead by Daylight with OverCrit. Join with me today, Dragon.
Hello.
It's been a long while, apparently about half a year since I last played this game. Yeah. Ooh, what's this? Light serum, small compound of 34, the final serum. You gain 1 charge of blinded rush to replace your kill power. No thank you. I don't really want to do that. Or do I? Increase throw speed. No, I don't. Alright, yeah, so Halloween is tomorrow and I will be streaming tomorrow, so what better way to spend Halloween than playing some fun, good old fun Dead by Daylight. We'll be starting off with Killer again, trying to do the dailies for our killers. Probably not gonna do this one. Gonna do the Rite of Clown, the Skull Merchant, and play the new killer that I haven't played yet, Dracula. Because while I was gone, there was a collab with Castlevania, and there was also a collab with Tomb Raider.
Oh, has the Tomb Raider one already come out?
Yep, Tomb Raider will already come out. You can now play as Lara Croft as a child.
As a child?
The child version, the reboot from the, was it PS4 or 5? The pretty one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a child.
I mean, well, when you said child, like, the first thing that went through my mind is we can't show 8-year-olds being hooked on meat hooks like that. I'm pretty sure that's against TOS somewhere.
Somewhere.
Somewhere, somehow.
There is, what is it called? She does have an alternate, whatever that thing's called, which makes her look like her original Tomb Raider outfit with blue shirt, sunglasses, and hot pants.
Oh, okay.
And the sunglasses hide her face a lot, so it makes her look more mature, I guess. But like her standard skin, you know, you can see the freckles on her nose. It's like, oh, isn't that adorable? So there seems to be a Halloween event happening. Where, what is it now? There's some scary, spooky things around the map. You pick them up to collect void energy. You turn them into these rifts that want void energy, and if you give them enough void energy, they open up into doors to the rift world or something. And in the middle of the rift thingy is a well where you can drop off all of your accumulated rift points to cash in on some Halloween cosmetics.
So the usual.
The usual. Unfortunately for survivors, it's infinitely easier to do this as a killer. Da 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 da. Bum 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 bum. got one bottle left. Yes! That's one cut. 4 more. Oh. Oh man, I'm out of bottles. But that's okay, I can just chase her down, it doesn't matter. It's about right. Oh, I got. Oh man, what the heck? I got disconnected. Oh.
That's not good.
What the heck did I click on to do to deserve this?
The play button.
Well, she got away, so it's time for me to chase someone else. Oh, that's right. I have Ruin activated, don't I? Wow. Wow, she is like really good at dodging. Ouch. Damn it. There we go. Oh, look at all that rift energy. And somebody entered the rift. Oh, wonderful. How do I enter said rift? I don't know where the rift door is. Ah, there. Too bad. It also like lets me know if someone's in the rift, which is kind of nice. I guess I'll enter it just for the heck. See what's it about. Oh, okay, okay. Wonderful. Oh, midagata arigato? Where's the rift hole?
Why did that sound dirty? Oh yeah, I'm a pervert, that's why.
Spew! Surprise! Oh, no you don't. Nice. You have tons of rip points. I appreciate it. Thank you for your efforts. Now I need to find a hook. I guess there's a hook up there. No, I feel like she's gonna kick me now. It's coming. It's... Oh, it came.
I'm sorry, you what?
It came. Ah, no. Come back. Oh, I'm out of bottles. Hold up. Don't run too far. I need to refill. There we go. There you go. I missed. There we go.
Hold on, guys. I'm reloading.
Wow. All right. Man, she was like really wanting to do that generator. It's like, sure, lady, no problem. Now I need to climb these stairs, turn my rift points in. Up, up. Oh, there's a lot of generators being done. Transfer. Oh. I guess I'm full. Okay. That was just a wild swing, you know what I mean? Oh, yes. Where do I want to put you? Can we put you in the same spot? Yes, we can. Oh, there's one generator left. Ah, yes! Gotcha. It's fine. What's that? You're right behind me? Oh. Guess I'll go back this way. He's up there, huh? Ah, yes. All of your rift points are mine, for no reason. Yeah. Got you. Damn it.
Tag, you're it.
Damn it, Bobby. Let's put you up here. Oops. I fell off. Did she fall off? No, she didn't. Hey, lady. Oh man, you had a lot of souls on you. And pop. Man, 2 people are down. What is up? And one's dead. One's dead. Okay, so they must be over there. They already opened the gate? No?
Wait, what?
Yeah, there she's getting her souls. No doubt. Bum bum bum. Wiggle wiggle wiggle.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
They both left. Ah, that survivor power to be able to just, what was it called? Drop a circle of I can't see you is really powerful.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Like, whoa, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with that. Like, unless I have like ability to just hit everything in that circle for damage, it doesn't really feel very viable. Alright. Turn that in, grab this commemorative shirt, and then what is this? Chase or be chased for 20 seconds. Okay. Let's see, we did our daily for the clown. Let's do our daily for the merchant now. Skull. And we need to grind this enough to get, what was it called? Some... Oh. What was that word? I don't remember the word right now. Help.
What are you trying to do?
Event item.
We're having a lot of trouble with English tonight.
Oh man. That's all. It's almost as if another language. Oh shoot, you know what I don't have with me? My water bottle. Shame. Let's see, what do I have to do with her? Hit pro survivors who got the clamp. No problem. No problem. We'll give them good clamp. Ah, what is this? Let's put this here and grab that. Wait, what abilities do I have? I have increased rotation speed and increased undetectable status. How wonderful. Oh, man. I don't understand why people aren't bringing the event item. That's always bothered me. Like, clearly, you want that to be able to, like, progress your account more, but Let's see who's bringing it. Bum, ba-dum. I'll let the player drone here. Bum 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 bum. Why does it sound like I'm underwater? Oh my god. Got one drone left. Oh. Make sure this is it. Yeah, it's so weird. It's really hard to hear right now. Well, I guess I'll keep chasing this guy. It's not like I have anything better to do. Oh, they are just completing my generators. Super annoying. Wow, this guy is struggling hard. Also, they nerfed the they seem to have nerfed those radar things. Since they no longer what's that word? Hey, buddy. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Ah. There's somebody here. Oh well. Yeah. That's super annoying. There you are. Hello there. Ouch. I mean, whatever, you know. Ah. Bum, ba, bum, bum, da, da, da. Man, these guys are not just not. These guys are just not falling for my whatever this thing is. That's annoying. Wow, all these generators are just becoming done. This might be a dud. Everything sounds so dull. I can't really like hear anything except for like the background music. And it's over. That's a shame. Deploy. Bum, 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 bum. He's like the only person who got hooked. Bum, 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 bum. Get. Oh, and he dashed. Oh, damn it. Well, that ended disappointing. Was I even able to hit anybody? Nope, 0 out of 4. Ah, disconnected. That's all kinds of annoying.
Of all the times for you to come back is when they're having server issues.
Of course. Of course, of course. Break generators 5 times. It's a shame, but we will have to play her again. Like, she feels very nerfed right now for some reason. And we need another one of those event items, like now. There. Wonderful. I love how whispers, or not whispers, crow friend keeps popping up. Not keeping, and the RNG thing keeps on ignoring it. missing one. Hmm. Okay, let us try again. Alright, let's find our 3 generators. Those 3? There's... Damn, everyone wants this. Yeah. Who paid for that? Already they discovered I have... I lost her. Oh, that's annoying.
She gave you the slip.
And I'll just put this here. Bum. Wow. Nice. Oh, they go. That's one. Let's put her downstairs since she's right here. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Got you. Alright, let's go to the next one. Which? Believe I'm protecting that one. Mm-hmm. Hi! Ba-da-bum-bum, ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Hey buddy, let's go back downstairs, will you? Ah. There is 2 generators left. That one's already done, huh? I will go in here, and I will turn my own in. What the fuck? Why can't I hear her? Oh my god. Why is she silent? What the fuck is happening? Oh. I guess it makes sense for her to do this. And, oh, she's faster. Oh, what the axe? What the absolute what? I lost her. And she left. Ah. Darn. They all escaped again. And I think I was able to hit one person with my daily. Ah, 2 people. Ugh. This is pain. Very much suffering. Do I have enough? Yeah, I do. Let's hit start. RNG finally gave me the birds. Level 2 birds. Level 3 birds. Anything interesting I'm missing out? Probably not. Ah, one person didn't bring a dowsing rod again. Oh, hey. Nice. Alright. I need to hit 2 more people. I can't believe how hard it is gonna do this on this character. 1, 2, 1. Alright. First we got this one. And then we'll do this one. Thank you. And then we'll do this. Hey there, buddy. Somebody's inside the rift. Oh, you got that screams whenever people are nearby problem, don't you? Fortunately for you. Yeah. All 3, huh? Ah. Someone's going around breaking my drones. Thank you. What the? Wow, I lost him because of that? He's got sprint burst. How annoying. Aha! Thank you. And you're going downstairs for prosperity. Fine. Well, yes, you should stay there. Bum, bum, bum. Ow. Yes. Up, 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 up. Yeah, I'm just gonna go this way. Wah! Wah! Hello there. I mean, I'm so close to the basement. I'm just gonna put you down here. You know what I mean? Where it's safe for me. And you're upstairs. How wonderful. Oh, you're dead. How wonderful. Oh, fucking God. Alright. Man, why can't I hear their footsteps? This is so dumb. Okay.
It is I. What am I? Neat.
Hi.
Hello. Yeah, I looked up whether. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing a murder.
Do it harder.
I do desire to do harder murder.
I am physically sore.
Physically swole?
Sore. I doing shit that would make one swole, but I'm not trying to become swole. I just want to fucking lose weight.
God, do I feel that.
There we go. Yeah. The feeling is strong. Struggle, please. Let's see, I should probably kick that so it doesn't finish.
I love this. When a game that was in early access, like, it's 1.0 isn't just like, hey, here's the last few bugs kicked out, but like, this particular game is called Vampire Hunters, and they're like, hey, we've nearly doubled our content for the 1.0 release. I'm like, oh. Okay.
Gotta love extra content.
Yeah, well, I finished all the early release content. In fact, I thought it was a done game for a bit, because it was fairly polished.
Yeah, I thought it was a finished product, but
Oh, have you played Vampire Hunters?
no. I think I watched. No, I think I watched you guys play Vampire Survivor.
A Crit probably played it at once. It's blurry.
I have played a lot of Vampire Survivor games, but never Vampire Survivors.
Itself?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you gotta. It is. In fact, I think it's today. It just released the ode to. They got the thumbs up, and they collabed with Konami, so they have the ode to Castlevania DLC, which is adding 20 characters from the Castlevania franchise.
Very impressed. Oh my gosh.
They've also collabed with Among Us when it was at like the peak of its popularity. They collabed with Contra.
They're just like right there, aren't they?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the game itself is like $4, and each DLC is like $2 or $3. Honestly, you get the whole complete edition for like
Fuck, I lost him.
a little over 10, I think.
Ah. They're all going in.
But Vampire Hunters is a Vampire Survivors style game in the sense of like the general gist of how it works. You know, kill enemies, grab orbs, level up, get new weapons, except it's a first-person shooter. But they add a new character. Oh, there's 3 new characters? What? They did double their content! Kill tree. Oh, and there's permanent upgrades.
Sounds like a lot of good shit's happening for us this fall.
Finally, this has been one of the worst years ever.
Ah, they all left.
It has been
Oh,
little
gotta do my
lackluster.
daily. My daily is done.
In fact, I just touched base with someone you know, or some of you both know. Cole, the best man at my wedding. He almost died this year.
Oh, playing Vampire Survivors?
No, like legitimately almost died.
Huh.
Jesus.
Crazy thyroid issue.
Wow.
I'll explain in detail later. He's okay now, but like,
That's good.
yeah. But that was a fright. It's like everybody's had something really bad happen to them this year, at the very least. Like the person I know who's done the best caught COVID like twice.
COVID is terrible.
Yeah. Ugh. Woofy doodle.
COVID was real bad.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Okay.
That feeling when you're feeling there's nothing wrong with you, but it's like I feel like I'm sick.
Yeah, I feel
What is
I feel
wrong
like
with
garbage.
me?
Yeah.
Then it's like, there's something wrong with my nose. Throat slightly dry. Damn it. Is this what they call COVID?
Ligma. No, with him it was his thyroid issue, and apparently the doctor was like, you've had this probably for the last 10 years. And then you've just willpowered your way through it.
Jesus.
Toughest guy I know. But that's the downside, much like me, that's the downside to willpowering your way through things. He came close to shaking hands with the Reaper because of it.
Indeed. Okay. Equip that. Let's check out this. Let's go with Blinded Rush. What is my killer power? Vampiric Shift. Special ability Shapeshift. The Dark Lord has access to 3 forms and can freely change between them. Each form has unique abilities and strength. Vampire form is default state. The Vampire Lord can use the powerful Hellfire spell, which generates 7 pillars of flame that erupt from the ground in front of him and can be cast across low obstacles. Okay. Wolf form. Dark Lord has access to several abilities that allow for more effective tracking. Blood pools and scratch marks are more apparent and running survivors leave a trail of centaurs behind them. The Dark Lord can collect these centaurs to charge a powerful pounce attack again. A short, non-stacking haste buff. Bat form. On Bat form, the Dark Lord gains the undetectable status effect, mentioning he moves faster, ignores vault points, can teleport to any vault point in 32 meters. Become visible, but scratch marks can be seen. That's annoying. What the heck?
Hey, Crit, check your DMs real quick on Discord. I've sent you a question. You don't have to answer
Sent me
out
a
loud.
lot of questions. What do we have here?
Well, no, I mean just the most recent. The other I answered myself.
Perhaps. Huh. Let's see. Interesting. Alright, what is this guy's abilities? Dark. There we go. We have Dominance, Wretched Faith, and Human Greed.
Be right back real quick.
Alright. So, the Dark Lord, Dracula here, can turn into vampire form, wolf form, bat form, and his add-ons seem to magnify one ability or the other. It's kinda neat.
I've watched how he plays. I mean, it's me.
Yes.
So, even if I don't play Dead by Daylight anymore, I had to look. So I generally know how he plays. If you want my, like, input on what I've seen.
Alright. Shoot me.
So, the bat form. Have you played him yet?
No.
Okay. So the bat form is like the spirit's ghost walk. You can go through windows, over pallets and everything, but you can't see the survivors. The Hellflame, I don't know if they fixed the hitbox, because I was watching, PTB footage. It had a bit of a janky hitbox. It's good for if you can get a survivor to, like, if you can juke them into dropping a pallet, while they're mid-pallet, you just blast them. And it goes through things. You can hit them on the other side of walls and everything. The power most people use to pursue is the wolf. It can chain its jump, but it's sort of like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the hillbilly, when you charge it up, once it's fully charged, it goes, whether or not you hit another button.
Yeah.
I think that's what the wolf pounce is like. And the wolf has, you collect scent orbs, basically. You have an extra tracking mechanism.
Yeah.
And yeah, the add-ons typically augment one of the forms, especially the red ones. There's one where the Hellfire just literally, when they open the final gate, it's just constantly bursts of Hellfire.
Bursts of Hellfire, like, from everywhere, or from Dracula himself?
No, from the from the beginning of the exit gate to the exit is like a zone where these attacks are happening. Unless they've nerfed it since.
Huh.
Of course, it comes from a red add-on. Because otherwise, it would be broken.
Sounds disgusting.
It is, from what I hear. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I would say the Hellfire, at least without add-ons, has a similar-ish range to Pyramid Head's thing. Maybe a little shorter? Not sure. I haven't exactly compared them side by side.
Alright. Alright. We'll start off in wolf form then.
And I mean, people do use, like, when you're looping, if they're trying to loop you, a lot of people switch to, like, the Hellfire, which is just Dracula form.
Yeah.
It depends. You can triangle strike with the wolf form, because you get 2 pounces. So you can chain it. You lunge forward and then lunge sideways.
Can I jump over pallets in wolf form?
I don't know. The lunge might break it, but I don't know. I know that you can't. You'll just, it's sort of like Chucky. Dracula will just kind of mist through it. You know how Chucky has, like, the shadow of Charles Lee Ray in some animations? That's kind of how Dracula is in his other forms, where things that require him to have hands or be, like, upright, he'll, like, mist form into Dracula for a bit.
They're not up here, huh?
I wonder if they fixed it. There was an animation glitch where if you picked up someone in wolf form, well, you just try it and see if it happens. And you can teleport down. Yeah, I think the white orbs that appear are like scent tracking orbs. They might be trying to get. I mean, I can't see from there. They might be trying to get that saloon. Gen.
There we go.
And yeah, you can just attack. The only form you can't attack in is.
God dang, that was annoying. Holy crap. This guy.
They released, if I they did a. What was it? There was an Alucard skin for one of the survivors, and I think they just released a Soma skin.
Got you. Sure, where am I gonna put this guy? Oh, I guess I'll put him down there.
Chew on his butt.
Yeah.
Oh, going for the risky pallet. The biscuits be made. Bullet. Honey, can you control the children? I'm with OverCrit.
Hello, little children. Would you like some catnip?
You concerned. He had, not dead hard, what was it called?
Well, he failed.
Yeah, they're really grouping around that area. Like, they're not giving you a chance to walk away. Double trap. Dude, the wolf blends in with those bushes.
Yes.
I think one of your forms doesn't have a terror radius.
It's the best. It's the best
Isn't
one.
that? I think wolf might have a smaller terror radius, but I also might be completely mistaken. Now, unlike the Blueberry Mistress, I don't think your bat form can run into survivors. Because I don't know if it's still the case with Spirit. If, you know, obviously you couldn't see the survivors, but you could still physically run into them while invisible. So you could use, like, collision as a, mark. Oh yeah, you see the scent orb right there.
Well, I mean, I saw her go walk in, so...
Yeah, but if you hadn't, you would have picked up on it.
Yeah, I definitely.
Destiny can be quite fun.
Oh, you hear that voice?
No, I don't want to hear myself.
No, no, no. Oh my god.
Oh, Dracula's voice?
Dracula's voice.
Oh yeah, no, his lines are the guy who did it is sexy. Very
That's
sexy.
Same
I'm
guy.
pretty sure it's the same guy who did it in the anime.
He sounds like the same guy who did the sorcerer as well from Diablo 3.
Oh, the wizard.
Yeah.
No, it was a sorcerer. Yeah. Sorry, my brain. I had to like go through the catalog that is my brain. By the way, that lunge has some decent distance. The pounce. Oh, and I guess the little smell orbs. Notice they indicate the direction with a little wispy trail.
I lost him.
You didn't lose him. He's just doing the loop. It's a big long loop, but he has the skills for it.
Nom.
Oh, poor thing. The other one should have taken the hit for him.
Stop with the theatrics.
Stop with the theatrics.
Oh yeah, no, the voice is grand.
He wouldn't have gone far.
And he has a pretty
There it is.
awesome Mori.
No?
No. I think you're good to get away from the hook. Ooh, that is a cheeky way to get up there. Without having to go through the saloon itself. And I think that teleport is a fair distance.
Yeah, this teleport is wherever I want.
Yeah. So this is actually a really good map for Drac. Because you have the ability to traverse its more nuanced sections pretty quickly. Also, did you notice the castles in the background?
Nom!
Poor thing.
Oh!
She always get caught. Oh, it does. Yeah, so it does break the pallet. There you go. I don't think Hellfire breaks the pallet.
This is wonderful.
That's Death Hook.
Shoot, I'm not... Okay. There's abatements. Good. I was like, oh no, where am I gonna put her?
And the thing is, she doesn't seem to be good at avoiding you, so...
What an emotional display.
What an emotional display.
Funny thing is, he counterplays Trevor's abilities, because Trevor's abilities have to do with chests. So, with the add-ons where you track the chests, it's,
I hear him.
it might be underneath you.
There you are.
Oh, no, you...
You get the furthest hook. Hey, stop moving. Oh, is he behind me?
Escape is impossible.
if the scent orbs are really close to them, and you have to be decently close, but, oh no, yeah, you do vault over. As the wolf.
I mean, you can. But it's like stupid slow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
he
it might
killed
be the same
himself.
speed. What? Okay.
Either
I guess going for
either
a
that or
hatch
he like failed too many times.
it's pretty easy to hit. Now it's a hatch game.
Yeah, I think I'll.
What the hell? Is this the event?
Yeah, this is the event area. You collect rift points and turn them in cash.
Oh my god.
All right, I can't find the exit. Where the fuck is the exit? Oh no, there's only one exit. Are you kidding me?
Up there.
Oh my god, I must have not let anyone open any exits.
No, you've been giving them the spurs pretty hard.
Is he not
Oh,
found?
that's a scent orb. No, that's not. That's a void orb. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous thing. If you get close to him, even remotely, the scent orbs will
Oh
start.
yeah, that's Castlevania. Oh, that's nice.
That's the castle, yeah. So that's the thing. He
Oh, you
didn't
found
get
it.
your own map.
He did find
Dracula-
it.
Oh, he did.
He waited for me to find him. How cheeky.
Well, fair. So instead of getting a Castle Dracula map, which kind of makes sense because Castlevania's enormous. The castle itself is enormous.
Yeah.
So instead of picking any one section, it's just in the background whenever someone plays Dracula.
I really like the feel of Dracula. I
Yeah,
really like the feel of it. I love being able to quickly switch between forms without any cooldown. I love the tech of being able to just jump to a windowsill and then immediately go back into wolf form to hunt. I not too happy about the effect of Hellfire.
Oh, he's got to be balanced somehow.
It's a good anti-chase tech, I guess, but
yeah.
like it's gonna take some good judgment calls to abandon wolf form and go for the Hellfire.
It has some good add-ons.
It must be erratic.
It has one where.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god, when I came back to the select screen here, it played the victory BG
Oh, the
something like that. Not that particular one, but
yeah, so here's my theory as to why we've been seeing so many Castlevania collabs. Is Konami's finally feeling the pain of the stupid choices it's made with the series.
oh yeah.
Yeah, they got rid of Koji Igarashi, Iga, the man, Mr. Symphony of the Night.
I mean, you make it sound like that's the only stupid decision they made. Let's look at
I meant
Hideo
relevant to-
Kojima.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean just Konami overall. They even caused all that shit with Hideo Kojima and the Metal Gear Solid series.
Yeah, they were complaining like, oh, he keeps going over budget. Yes, you're printing money, man.
Keeps going
And
over
then,
budget. And does
And
he
the fact
sell?
that the fact that they sat there and flat out told him that he was not allowed to attend the Game Awards for the year that MGS5 came out, and I think at some point they wanted to have his name off of something.
Well, you're fine.
And yeah, and quite literally, pretty much everyone there at the awards called Konami out on it, on television, on stage, repeatedly.
The CEO at the time, and I think he's still the same CEO, saw a future in mobile gaming.
Yeah.
Maybe in Japan.
You know, stuffy Japanese businessmen, they're nothing if not short-sighted half the time.
Stuffy, yeah, I mean,
The stuffy ones.
They're probably like I hear the peasants like gaming on the train home from work, from working 18 hours a day with us.
The pachinko machines are popular.
Let's give them more.
Yeah, no. That's the thing. If they had just let the creators do, we would have had a Silent Hill from Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro.
Which would have been amazing.
Yeah, PT is a legend. That would have been a license to print money. It doesn't matter how actually good the game was. The names were enough. Would have, like, initial sales would have been enormous. They had Iga doing Castlevania, which every Castlevania, they're like, oh, it didn't meet expectations. It's like your expectations are too high.
Yeah, that's been a reoccurring thing just overall with a number of the Japanese companies. We didn't meet expectations. Well, like Konami, Sony, like every single game that they seem to pop out is like, yeah, we didn't meet expectations. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, purposely dropping your stock value by saying that, even though the game did amazingly well?
Well, no, they're starting to feel the clinch that I've been saying, like, economists have been saying have been coming for years. There's a ceiling on how high, especially with the price of, with minimum wage and such not going up, there's a ceiling on how much people will be willing to pay for things.
Yeah.
So you won't see that increase in, the increase in percentage for stockholder value is going to stop.
Yeah.
And so if every game needs to sell better than the last one, it's not going to happen every time.
Yeah. What was that word? Like, have you guys noticed how games have been topping out in prices? Like the AAA games, they come out to be about like $70 usually.
Which is, you know what, devil's advocate, it's fine. When we were kids, I'm just gonna age all three of us.
No, I'm not trying to like say to like call it down or anything, right? Cast it. I'm not trying to cast it down. That's like the setup of my point is that games have been $70. I remember when they used to be $50 for a for a AAA game. And in exchange for capping her out, but in exchange for capping out at $70, a lot of games started to have like DLCs and stuff. They can throw more money into there, like get the full.
They used to do expansion packs.
Get the game for an extra get the whole game for the extra $70 or something like that, and that's really. And even then, these companies are still having issues with breaking even, and the reason is that the prettier a game is, the more man hours it takes to make it. It's not like they can pay the same one guy like $30 an hour and expect to produce for example, this game within a reasonable amount of time.
Well, and they want faster release dates. Like, crunch is becoming even more infamous.
Yeah.
And it's like, they want what they complain about. They want more for less. And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Like it doesn't work that way for consumers.
It really doesn't, but the problem is, would you buy a video game for AAA video game for $200?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. The game developers know that you won't. And even if they put out the most sexiest cosplay DLC for their man whores, right? People might spend at most an extra like $30 on DLC. They won't go out of their way to cover the difference between $75 and $200 with DLC. You can't expect most people to do that. And so when a company says we're not we have record sales, but we don't have enough, whatever that word was you said. Profit, yeah, there's not enough profit, or we didn't make enough margin value. It didn't sell enough, you know.
Here's the big thing.
Like, you can't anymore. The games, it costs too much to make them, and the games are too cheap.
That's the problem, is they're prioritizing the wrong things. Do you know what company is financially liquid and doesn't have the problem where it has to lay off people all the time?
Larian Studios?
Not that.
Didn't they get acquired?
No. They dropped any future things that they were going to do
With
for
Wizards of the Coast.
Baldur's Gate 3 because they had started work on a DLC and then they scrapped it because they decided they were done with Baldur's Gate 3. They gave the rest of the Baldur's Gate 3 future things to Wizards. They're continuing with some kind of forms of content update, like their major updates.
Yeah.
But they're moving away from Baldur's Gate 3. They are now starting the process of making 2 new titles. They've opened up a whole new office in Warsaw, if I remember correctly. And they're Baldur's Gate 3 made them so much goddamn bank that all of a sudden they're like, hey, we can do 2 projects now, and we can hire more people.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it was a massive success. So the reason why they stepped away from Baldur's Gate 3 weren't because they're like, oh, we're done with Baldur's Gate 3. They were done with Wizards of the Coast.
Not surprising.
Yeah, remember, this was the year where Wizards of the Coast decided to burn down everything they own, much like Konami, where they're like, oh, we'll charge ridiculous amounts for these Magic the Gathering collector's packs and da-da-da-da-da, all their bad decisions. That's when, like, D&D was shitting the bed. And the thing is, one of the, like, it wasn't the CEO of Larian, it might have been. One of the head guys of Larian is like, yeah, no, the team we were working with at the beginning of Baldur's Gate 3 was not from Wizards, you know, because they have a liaison team.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, the CEO of Wizards of the Coast doesn't have time to be there. He has other shit to do. Like, make terrible decisions. But that's besides the point. The liaison team that they were working with at the start of the project, Baldur's Gate 3, completely different than the one at the end. Wizards had laid off everybody. And so Larian was like, you know what? You guys suck. We're done.
Yeah, and then Larian loved the initial liaison team.
Yeah,
like
no,
they synced so well together, and at the end it was a completely different liaison team, and there are a number of other things like it's bad.
It's not great. But anyways, back to my original point. No, there's a company that has been around for a very long time. They've had their setbacks, yes, but it has been with hardware, not with games. And I'm not a fanboy. You both know me. I'm not a Nintendo fanboy. But it's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Why? Because they don't overinvest in a project to make it look pretty, and when they do, it bites them in the ass. They make games that are fun. And the thing is, even if one game, like the Paper Mario series, that has varied drastically in quality, but they plant those seeds of the long-term investment. Nintendo fanboys, this is coming from a guy I used to work at GameStop. The people you knew were going to pick up new releases, Nintendo boys. Nintendo fanboys are rabid. Why? Because again, I don't agree with all the decisions. They've done some shitty copyright stuff. They have their own problems, right? And they charge
100%.
Way too much for like older remasters and stuff, but they know they can because that's the only place you can go to get your Mario fix.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Konami, for example, would have had that with Castlevania, Contra, and Silent Hill, and so many other companies, but they're trying to catch the next big thing instead of making themselves the next big thing. Like when you trend chase, like they're chasing this realism hardware stuff where it's like you can see the pores. It's like great, your game is the same boring crap we've been playing. Like I am sick to death of open world games, specifically of a certain sort.
Yeah.
Like Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is fantastic. It changed up the formula just enough, and there hadn't been a really good Assassin's Creed game in a while, so it was like filling the gap. However, Sony remastering and re-releasing The Last of Us 5 billion times is stupid. Sony remastering Horizon Forbidden West, or whatever the first one was stupid.
Zero Dawn.
Thank you. Because it's the same. They're the same schlock. And it's like, just make a fun game. Microsoft shot itself in the foot. It didn't make enough money from Hi-Fi Rush, but they didn't lose money on the project itself. They lost money because that was the same year they acquired Bethesda, which is continually shitting the bed, and Activision. Insert same comment there. Activision doesn't have anything successful besides Call of Duty anymore. And if you're considering it Activision Blizzard, World of Warcraft. And Bethesda has done nothing but show that ever since certain people left, they're incompetent. There are people who like Starfield, which is fine. You know, there are people who like Surströmming. That doesn't make Surströmming not stink.
Yeah. Another issue that Sony and Microsoft keep repeating with great irritation on my part is, hey, look, this studio just showed that it can make blockbuster games. Let's buy them.
And then destroy them.
And then make them make games that we want to have made, even though our, history as of late has been extremely lackluster. Oh, the game we forced them to make the way we wanted it didn't do well? Well,
what a surprise.
Yeah,
I guess we'll just have to completely shut down this entire studio, lay off 90% of the employees, and maybe take that last 10% if we deem ourselves merciful and move them off to a different team.
Yeah, that's what they do, is they take a studio or something. It's like, oh, you're successful. Then when the studio is, hey, we found success by doing XYZ, it's like, no, we don't want you to do XYZ. It's like, but that's what makes us us. Yeah, but that's not what the kids want. It's like, you clearly don't know what we want. Look at Space Marine 2. Space Marine 2, it's not a long game. It's a very pretty game. It does do the graphics thing, but it never focused on that. I didn't see people, it wasn't like Horizon Zero Dawn Remake, where it's like, you can see the pores. It was just like, look at the cool action. What is the big thing about Space Marine 2? It's fun to play. It is very fun to play. And guess what? I'm not one of those people who are like, I buy every DLC. For games I enjoy and studios I like, yes. I think Dracon will agree with me. If there was like a DLC for content within a reasonable time frame, because the game was a little short, so I'm thinking maybe they still kind of got to give us a little. They don't have to, but I'm chomping at the bit for more content for the game. If they had a reasonably priced DLC that added more content, I would, and I had the money, I would be throwing it at them.
Oh, great. He's chasing.
Like no one's business.
I do agree in this day and age. If you were to ask me 10 years ago, 15 years ago, hell, especially 20 years ago, when we were still in high school and all that, and you came up to me and was like, Dracon, we want to sell you a game that's got day one DLC that you have to pay an extra $20 to get a squad member, an extra storyline mission, and you know, a bunch of cosmetic
oh my
items.
God, he's still chasing me.
I would have laughed at you in your face and told you to F off.
Oh,
Depends the game. 20 years ago, we didn't have any money. So,
No, 20 years ago, it was $50, and the game came
No, it
out
wasn't.
complete.
no, we're talking 2004, man. Already gaming was kind of in the state it's in.
Well, it was moving into that direction. Okay, yeah, you're right.
And here's the big thing that people forget.
We were still seeing an age where, a great example is the Tales franchise. Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Abyss, and whatnot, right? Back then, you go and play, say, 50, 60 plus hours, and you're like, hold on, I've gone through this whole world map, and now all of a sudden I'm coming across new quests, hidden quests throughout the entire game, that if I do them, I unlock cosmetics, I unlock entire new outfits and whatnot. Hell yeah! I'm now going to go through and pick
Fine-tooth
this
comb.
entire thank you to you know go through the entire game, taking your time, exploring every nook and cranny, and you're gonna have fun doing it because you know it's still good content. Now, looking at the same franchise, day one DLC for like $30 for one DLC package, because sometimes there's two, and when you go and look at it, it is all of the exact same cosmetic items that they've always had in the franchise. Husky dog, ears and tail, blah blah blah. It is the exact same cosmetics, except that you're paying extra money to have that, and to quote unquote sweeten the deal, we're gonna add in a couple of items in there that give you some extra healing items and some items that will level you up faster, just so that the beginning of the game isn't as slow.
Fire Emblem.
Well, yeah. So here's the two things.
Well, I used the Tales franchise because they have become notorious for that shit. But in no means are they the only ones who do this.
Hello, Queen
Hello,
Caitlin. Welcome to my stream. Yeah, I love Fire Emblem. So as soon as I get the game and there's like a, oh look, season pass for extra $30-40. All right, no problem. No problem, Fire Emblem. You keep making the games I like playing. And then I open the game and I am bombarded with thank you for buying DLC. You now get enough in-game items to ruin the balance of the game.
Yeah, which those are suck.
Like
here's the thing.
all right.
Well, not to mention with the Fire Emblem franchise, now it's the pay the Nintendo Online subscription, and you get even more of that on top.
So the thing I like to point out whenever this discussion comes up, because you know we were teenagers when games became $60.
Yeah.
But we didn't know game prices when we were kids because we didn't look at that. Yeah. And so I'll get back to games released in 2004 because it's funny you said 20 years ago because 2004 was a really good year for gaming. But I'll get back to that. I'm looking at an old Nintendo Power selling Super Nintendo, year 1992. Games were much shorter then, right? Much, much shorter. And people made way less money. Castlevania 4, new release, $72.99.
Jesus.
Yeah, games were actually way more expensive pre-PlayStation. Like, way more. And I forgive the day one DLC on two fronts. One, if it's just extra stuff they got done while they were making... Like, if they set out a roadmap, like, this is what we're going to create. Oh, we are ahead of schedule. We made some extra stuff. Cool. The other part is, yeah, games, they went up $10 and people are whining about it. But again, games went down in price before they went up in price.
There are worse fates
And
than death.
game developers are already underpaid. So
I mean, and to counter-argue that last part, the money does not go straight to the studio in most cases. It goes to the publisher. And the publishers are the ones that fall for the terrible pay. Like, don't get me wrong, those that have been in the industry for a while, they make, compared to what we make, they make some damn good money. However, I do not envy their position when any one little mistake in a new project and all of a sudden 100+ people just lost their damn job.
oh, holy shit, look at this Turok for the N64, $74.99.
Jesus.
That's the thing, people have forgotten. And yeah, no, I know most of the stuff goes to the game publisher, but they're still the ones giving people jobs. I don't like that they take the lion's share, but it gives more developers more jobs. And let's be fair, the price of, like, besides the fact, let's skip the fact that studios are overpaying for games. They're budgeting way too much for the wrong reasons.
They are.
Even the studios that budget reasonably, the price of everything, including the price of living for the developers, has not gone down. It's only gone up. So a $10 inflation in the last, 20 years, considering the inflation of everything else, that ain't bad. That's nothing. If we were to keep the inflation rates, of everything else, along with the inflation rates of games would be easily $90. And they'd still have the DLC. So I forgive the DLC because they kept the base price low enough that it's
Still
comparable.
affordable.
It's comparable. It is still cheaper than N64 games.
I will forgive D1 DLC if it is not storyline content.
Holy shit.
Cosmetic
For
DLC.
example, as much as I hate the concept of day one cosmetic DLCs, I hate D1 DLC just straight up. But what I absolutely refuse to forgive is what EA did on BioWare with Mass Effect 3 and Dragon Age 2, where you had to pre-order the games to get an extra character.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that.
And to get this extra character, it added a bunch of content, at least in Mass Effect 3. So imagine my surprise not having bought DA2 pre-order. I actually bought it a month late because I was short on money at the time, right? And when I go and put in the game, and I go and see all this shit in the intro and all that, I'm like, sweet. Look at all these different party members. Okay. Well, the first time I go through, I was missing 2 characters. Isabella and I think his name was Sebastian. He was the prince guy. Right? And I'm like, okay, well, what did I do wrong? So I go and play through it again. All of a sudden I find Isabella. And I'm like, okay, I understand why I missed her. It was because I never went into this one flipping building in Act 1. Okay, that makes sense. I missed her. So I'm now going into every single build. I'm doing every single like side quest. I go and beat the game again, and I have no idea where the prince is. So I go and look it up. Day 1 DLC pre-order content. In order to get him, from there on, I had to pay something like $10 to $20 extra for that DLC. Then I go and find out, because I never bought it, I came across this information later, that even though his flipping portrait was in the intro, he was not part of standard game, he was a DLC character. The fact that even if you owned him, apparently his what's the word I'm looking for? His presence literally changed nothing.
Huh?
All the scenes and everything, and all the conversations were exactly the same from everything I have come across stating so. As if he wasn't even there to begin with. Like, he almost added no real value to Dragon Age 2.
Yeah, they've been doing that less and less. I haven't seen a pre-order bonus that's been like a whole storyline or a whole character in a while.
Yeah, it has been a diminishing trend.
So here's the biggest bitter pill to swallow. Let's look at Street Fighter 6.
Okay.
I think Street Fighter 6 released at... Oh, here, I'll just look.
Ew, these numbers are disgusting. What the shit?
There's worse. Oh, I'm getting to a big thing. Release price. Street Fighter 6 release price was... I don't need to know the sale. I just needed to know... Street Fighter 6 was $62.99 on PlayStation. $52.99. So it was average of 60. I'm seeing 60. $59.99. Okay, 60. Let's say, because obviously they did DLC. I don't think the DLC adds any characters, but let's say it does. For the sake of argument, let's say it adds 5 characters. Let's say it adds 6 even, and it's $30. That sounds like dog shit, right? It's like, why don't you have those characters in the base game for the 60? Because Sega Genesis Street Fighter 2, $99.98 in 1994. They're still charging less than back then, with the DLC.
That's disgusting.
I think, and you know me, I'm the last one to be on a company's side when they're doing dog shit. I think we got spoiled in the early 2000s of gaming. I really think we did. Because I'm looking at, like here, I'll link this to you. Alright, I'll just give you the link. Look at these prices. In 94. This is 2 years before the PlayStation 1 came out.
Okay,
And like, this has Rise of the Robots. Rise of the Robots was an absolutely garbage game with basically no content. No content. If you played through the campaign, you were stuck as one character, and there was like 5 fights. No ending. $84.98 for garbage.
Earthworm Jim was inflation adjustment $98.
Yeah, dude, it was
Or no,
$87.98.
$96.98. That is atrocious.
And this, the last link I sent you, that's an old ad. This is not inflation adjusted. These are the prices. And a lot of these games were absolute garbage, like the Ren and Stimpy Show video game. 2?
Oh, these aren't
$82.98.
These aren't inflation adjusted prices?
No, these are the 1994 prices. Notice it has both games available late August 94. It has availability dates. These are the prices. That last thing I sent you from Reddit, Retro Gaming, this is an ad that the person scanned from the time. $99.98 for Street Fighter 2. And that had nowhere near the content, development effort, or time that Street Fighter 6 does. So, I mean, I know cartridges are more expensive, but holy shit. And that was $99.98 in 94 money. That is half the price of a PS1. Almost. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if a game? So to put it in perspective, imagine if a game nowadays was half the price of the console. If they had kept up with their pricing, sure, we'd have lower games like Mystic Quest. There's $30, but that $30 would be $60 now, and the $90 would be $250 now. So you know what? EA's a dog shit company.
Won't hear arguments on that one.
Like, no matter what, they do shitty things, but the numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't lie. I will agree that these year numbers, especially Sega Genesis, the Sega and Nintendo games back then, these are atrocious prices.
And the content was way less. Like, the average game in that time was maybe 6 hours, not counting JRPGs.
This is true, but at the same time, those games were made a lot harder in order to
extend the playtime. Yeah.
To extend playtime. So people were getting a lot of playtime out of the titles. I'm not trying to justify these prices, by no means, but the playtime invested in titles were good. The amount of money, nonetheless, is disgusting.
Now, here's the reason I imagine why it was so expensive, is it was new technology. Now, in the PlayStation 1 to PlayStation, I'd say 3 era, when games are $50 to $60 on average, the technology was quote-unquote new-ish, but not so new that it was super expensive to like get a kit and develop it, especially for the PlayStation itself. That's why PlayStation had lower prices on games versus the N64 on average.
Right.
Like, on average, if you compare it in an N64 game and in a PlayStation game, PlayStation games were cheaper on the average. So, that's the big thing. Now, I think we're hitting that wall again, where new technology is making things more expensive, but it's new technology we don't need. It's the graphics. Yeah. It's too much. It's like, just make a fun game.
But it's like the new PS5 Pro.
Oh, God.
Like, if to actually look at what was changed, like, essentially, it's the first and only console that I think can render in 8K resolution. No. Am I understand correctly?
Which is what?
Yeah.
Am I incorrect on that?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
Maybe not. I think that was mentioned. I wouldn't surprise me if it could, but the main draw of the PS5 Pro is that when you're playing in 4K, you don't no longer have to compromise between performance or fidelity. Or is it fidelity the right word?
You might be right.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, the games are still being run at 30 FPS. Most of those, most console games are not designed to run any higher than 30 FPS.
Well, that's because they're stretching the resources too much. And 30 FPS looks fine. Most people don't have perfect vision. They wear glasses or something.
I mean,
I honestly could not tell you much of a difference between looking at 30 FPS versus 60. It might feel a little smoother, I guess, but in no way do I sit there and go, the game has to be 60 FPS or higher, or else I won't touch it.
Alright, I pulled up the stats. PS5 Pro can play 60 FPS for games that are locked at 60 FPS. 120 FPS for PS5 Pro compatible games, and up to 8K in resolution, but those are only available for games designed for 8K resolution in mind.
Oh my god, it just hit me like lightning.
Which, let's be honest, I don't think there's a single game on the market at all designed to run at 8K.
Yeah, there's only like a couple. Mostly they're gonna. I don't know which one they are, but they're probably all publisher exclusive.
Well, gentlemen, it just hit me like a friggin' bolt of lightning.
Okay.
It's happening again. We saw this in '96.
Let me see.
It is the Bit Wars all over again.
Explain.
So, to backtrack, to make it more sense, you remember when the PlayStation 1 and the N64 came out, they were in, like, heated competition. The console wars, quote-unquote. Now, while Nintendo had the franchise power, the PS1 outsold it by miles.
Yeah.
Like, it way outperformed it massively.
Mm-hmm.
So, here's the thing. Back then, Nintendo focused on the wrong thing in two aspects. One, they kept with cartridges, which was a dumb idea. And two, besides their like staple games, they're like, 64 bits. Those 64 bits didn't mean shit. Your games weren't as good. You had a few, like the gems that you had were big gems, but anything outside those gems is pretty garbage.
The N64 was a revolutionary piece of hardware, though, for computers back then.
For computers.
It's one of the main features of the the N64 is that it used a type of RAM memory module called NDRAM, which was a small company who proclaimed that they designed the RAM with a smaller bus size but larger memory, faster memory capacity, faster memory but smaller bus. Whereas normal like RAM memory, it has a large bus on it, so it could can access larger bits of data at once. It has all that space it can just do. But what this NDRAM allowed the N64 to preload all of that 3D into memory and crap it out faster than anything out there. It was also a very expensive piece of hardware.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not saying it wasn't good technology. My point was because they focused so much on that. We're talking from a business perspective. We're talking from like the price of things, because that's the whole thing we're talking about is the price of things. From a money perspective, they lost to the inferior piece of technology. Why? Because the more important thing is a fun game. And we're right back to it. Like it happened with the PlayStation 2. Was the Xbox out in the era of the PlayStation 2?
Yes.
See. So, the Xbox did what Nintendo did. They're like, oh, it's so much more powerful than the PS2. PS2 is literally the best-selling game console of all time. It didn't matter that its other brother had better technology. The games were better. Sony, it's like fucking Anakin Skywalker. Sony was the chosen one when it came to that shit, and they've betrayed themselves, because now what are they focusing on? The better graphics, the better technology. And that's not what won them the console wars. Not even close.
Yeah.
They got this aspect from the era of the PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3 didn't have enough games. It had good games on it, the games it did have, but it didn't have enough games, especially compared to the PS2. I mean, mind you, PS2 had a lot of schlock, but it was much harder to develop for. Why? Because they wanted to be the stronger piece of hardware versus the Xbox 360. And so it was way more expensive for one thing. And the 360 had better release titles. Like, the 360 was more affordable to get with next-gen stuff, and that was the era where, like, online party gaming was becoming a thing. Draycon, you remember that we met during that era.
Yeah, we did.
And what was the big thing? Being able to either couch co-op or play online.
The online...
It wasn't great, but it was starting.
It was starting. I remember here in Idaho, This was before you moved up from California. It was Xbox and Xbox, like the 360 had just recently come out and all that. But we had a store that tried monopolizing on the idea of, you know, a lot of people, their homes do not have the internet capacity for reliable online play, or if they even have internet at all that wasn't, you know, dial-up.
You're talking about a net cafe.
Yeah, and so what they did is they got a bunch of Xboxes and projector screens and projectors and a bunch of basically theater screens. And they set up lobbies throughout this room, and people could go in, pay for like an hour, they would pay on an hourly basis, go in and play on projectors. They could bring in their own food and drink, and they could sit there and play multiplayer online with their friends.
There's a place like that in California before I moved to call it. What was it called? Monkey Feet or something like that. Those are net cafes.
Yeah.
You see them, they're especially big in countries that don't have that like reliable at-home internet. A lot of people will pay to go to a net cafe and play their games.
Yeah. This store only lasted, I think, like maybe 2 years because everyone started really ramping up their internet.
Yeah.
And so it went out of business because, you know, there was no longer the need for it. But yeah, like, that was the Halo group that I had. God, that doesn't, you know, age me at all. We had like a core 12 members that were there every weekend. And then we had like another 6 to 8 people who could intermittently show up every weekend. And we legitimately would hold LAN parties.
100%. Well, like 2000. Oh yeah, I was gonna say games that came out in 2004. Let me pull that list back up, and we're all gonna go on a beautiful nostalgia trip.
Is it gonna be beautiful?
Oh, it will be. No, it was a fantastic year in game. So something we've all played. The original Warhammer 40k Dawn of War came out in 2004.
Was that 2004?
Yep.
Okay.
September 20th. Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door, the best one. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic 2. Metal Gear Solid 3. Half-Life 2. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Red Dead Revolver. Spider-Man 2, the movie, the game, which was great. The Suffering. The first Killzone game. Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal, which was fantastic. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, which was great. Sly Cooper 2 Band of Thieves, which was great. World of Warcraft. Jeff Jam Fight for New York. Mortal Kombat 7, I mean, obviously there were bad ones too. The second Prince of Persia, Jack 3, and these are just like the ones that came up immediately. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, Pikmin 2, Katamari Damacy, Chronicles of... If you were a gamer, there was a game that was a banger. Doom 3, Is that just a list here? Best-selling San Andreas, Prince of Persia, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green came out in 2004. Doesn't say. Yeah, best-selling games worldwide in 2004. Halo 2 came out in 2004, and Halo 2, I would say, got the formula the best. But here, it wasn't popular in Japan at all. Halo 2 only sold 42,000 units in Japan.
Xbox was not a popular console in Japan.
No, it wasn't. Dragon Quest VIII, Pro Evolution, Need for Speed Underground 2 was great.
God, yeah, Halo 2 was 2004 when it came out. One of the guys that was in my group literally would bring his Xbox to school, he had a small TV that had a clamp that would allow him to basically clamp it on top of his console, and we were playing it during our lunch break in the gymnasium.
And Half-Life 2 came out in 2004. That is, like, no matter what you do, Half-Life 2 touched gaming in every aspect. It is a cornerstone game. Even if you've never played it, it has affected games you have played in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, World of Warcraft, that changed the gamerscape forever. Rome Total War was starting to take off. The Sims 2 was big, and Sims was starting to be popular. Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, Metroid Zero Mission. Oh, beautiful Joe, that was great. EVE Online came out in 2004.
Dang, that's right. It was the same year that World of Warcraft came out.
Yeah, 2004 was a huge year.
I do miss having had fun in EVE Online, but I do not miss
Look at this.
the game. Wait, is she petting the killer? Oh my god, you can pet the killer.
Oh, and here, the next year, 2005, guess what came out? Resident Evil 4 and God of War. The first Guitar Hero.
Oh,
Civilization
God,
4. Battlefield 2, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow came out in 2005. This is 2005. Dawn of Sorrow was huge. Psychonauts came in 2005, which is a cult classic. Gran Turismo 4, that was huge. Pokemon Emerald. Star Wars Battlefront 2. The original Star Wars Battlefront 2 was 2005. Holy crap. We got spoiled from like 2004 to 2006.
Oh, look at that.
And guess what? That was after the Bit Wars were done. This was in the PS2 era of games. And then the PlayStation 3 era started to do the big graphics war shit again, and guess what? The games got worse. And guess what? As they've continued to continue the graphics war, I mean, there's still great games that get created, but they are fewer and further between.
I mean, it's not just the consoles who are doing the graphics war right now, though.
No, it's not just the consoles.
It's the industry itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The difference is, it's a lot harder for an indie to get on the consoles.
Yeah.
And the big thing is, the companies that own the consoles are buying up indie studios that do well and then destroying them. Yeah. By making them make AAA stuff instead of the stuff they're good at. I mean, who was it? Who are the people that bought Respawn and BioWare?
EA.
So EA bought Respawn and BioWare. Respawn did Titanfall 2, which was a fantastic shooter. BioWare made the Dragon Age series, which was great. What did they have them do? They had BioWare make a shooter and Respawn make a single-player RPG.
What? Wonderful.
It's not even a joke.
Yeah, but at the time, BioWare was doing great with the Knights of the Old Republic franchise, Dragon Age franchise, Mass Effect franchise. But having said that, as much as I absolutely love ME 1 through 3, ME 1 does feel...
There's a lot of jank.
There was a lot of jank. I think that's a good word. For a shooter, there was a lot of jank. If it was solely on gameplay, the franchise probably would have never taken off. No. The story is what made BioWare
something new. That's why I forgive it.
Yeah, BioWare at that time was pretty much legendary for their storytelling. Mm-hmm. Now, where most of their veteran members have all left either the industry or for greener pastures and other teams, we get Andromeda. I I am not really sure if I'm ever going to touch Dragon Age Veilguard.
Don't.
Everything I have seen regarding Dragon Age Veilguard looks bad.
Oh.
Like, why does it feel like a lot of these companies are moving towards a art style that makes it feel like everything is moving in the direction of Fortnite?
You know what? That aside.
Ooh, the Fortnite word. Oh.
Hold on. That aside, I could forgive a game looking like shit if it was fun to play. Look at like Cruelty Squad. If you're into that sort of surreal thing, the jank is part of the fun.
And that's valid. That is valid. I will accept that.
I just linked you a reviewer who I think is a very even-handed reviewer, Skill Up.
Okay.
And his videos are always, I do or do not recommend. That's the titles. It's not like, oh, this is a piece of shit game. It's like, well, I don't recommend this, or I do recommend this. And he had the most damning praise I could ever hear about BioWare's writing.
It was boring.
It was toothless.
Toothless.
Everything you can do is just a different flavor of being nice. There's no hard decisions. Everyone
That's
just
what I was
agrees
hearing.
with you.
Like you couldn't be a jerk.
Not even that. Even there's no disagreements in the party between like characters. No tension. Which I get it. If that's not your thing, fine. But Dragon Age is specifically known for its darker writing.
Yeah, that's one of the things I appreciated about BioWare's games, where like if you could, like, party members can straight up just leave if you,
Or die. Or even try to kill you.
yeah, just betray, you have to.
It's almost like they were believable people with different means, motives, and feelings.
Like the second Knight of the Old Republic. What's her name? The Dark Jedi. Like,
Oh, I don't know. I didn't play much.
I can't remember her
Nick
name.
didn't
But I
let me
remember
play enough of that.
the first, like, very early into the game, you get approached by a homeless man asking for some credits. If you give him credits, you give him like 5 credits. And she legitimately tells you off for having done that. And at first, I was about to be up in arms. I'm like, I just did a good thing. Go screw yourself, you old crone. And even though I still uphold that my charity was in the efforts of helping someone, at least to get a meal for the day, the way they wrote her dialogue, and the fact that they also added on top of it as icing on the cake, showing that same person getting mugged by another homeless person for the credits that I just gave them. The way she spoke about it, and the position that she had, and the argument she gave, legitimately left me actually thinking about it. Like, did I actually do a good thing? Like, I miss that quality writing.
I mean, it's something that
Gaslighting by your own game. How wonderful.
Well, no,
love it.
I imagine her argument was like, hey, it was the, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish sort of thing. Which is that's a whole thing we could get into, but this is not the time or place.
Yeah, I don't remember it all because, like I said, like you just pointed out, 2004, 2005 when it came out. So I cannot remember off the top of my head, but I remember sitting there for maybe 5 minutes as I legitimately processed everything she said and actually, like, thought about. Like, that was actually a big moment for me. Like, I actually had a game make me actually sit there and contemplate, moral choices and the ramifications of said choices.
Yeah.
Now I can't even punch a reporter anymore.
No, it's not even that. Like, let's say, oh, we don't want to encourage, being a jerk. Fine, whatever. But, like, not even reasonable disagreements or tensions happen. From what I've seen. It has completely been defanged. So I will not touch it.
And even not looking at story elements, I was already having issues with Veilguard when, yet once again, the way demons look have been changed.
Damn it!
We have 3 Dragon Age games. We have 3 different styles on how their demons are portrayed. Like, Dragon Age 1, or I should say Dragon Age Origins, it's called the proper name. Pride demons, holy gods, they were huge, they looked powerful. The lust demons were, yes, they were sexualized. I understand that there is still a lot of controversy regarding sexualized characters, but let's face it, they can sexualize men too, and some games have, and they could probably do more on that and get people to stop complaining, but that's a different argument altogether. But
Dragon Age in particular sexualized men.
Yeah, it did. And you got the lust demons were sensual and everything. But you could see, even though when you first look at them, yeah, that's a demon. But you can see, yeah, that's still somehow horrifically attractive. Like, so long as you're saying you're not going to look at that and kinks aside, say, I'm going to put my D in that.
Well, I mean, again, everything aside, like everything, even the gameplay aside.
Yeah, like
BioWare was known for their writing.
Yes.
And for them, for the complaints to be, the writing is bad. That's like Halo if the shooting didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's
exactly.
literally no point in it existing.
Yeah. Dragon Age and Mass Effect exist as the pillars that they are, or the titles on pedestals, I'll put it that way. I'm not even sure I'm willing to say they're pillars. But they're on pedestals as a franchise because of the storytelling. And if you don't have the storytelling, because let's face it, look at Andromeda, the storytelling on that was bland. I almost beat Andromeda, and I finally quit because of all the goddamn bugs, and then I just came to realize even though I was on the verge of beating the game, I could not tell you the name of a single character in my squad. Because they were so bland that they were forgettable.
So right now, something that I'm doing is I'm looking through, because I've gone down a rabbit hole. I'm looking in the games that have been released this year. And my challenge, to myself at least, is to find 5 games that I can say were objectively at least entertaining. Like 5 games that when I passed by them, where I was like, oh man, this came out this year, like, Halo 2 or da-da-da. I'm looking for 5 for this year. I'm looking through the list of everything that was released, to be fair. And my rule is, it doesn't count if it's indie. It has to be AAA, because our thing is about AAA. The indie sphere, they make great games still. No re-releases.
Yeah, no
remasters.
re-release, no remasters.
Reboots. So Final Fantasy VII Rebirth does not count. And indies don't count. So I'm looking.
Well,
based
on storytelling and all that, remaster or the new Final Fantasy VII games are a continuation of the story. They are not a reboot. They are
nebulous
legitimately
enough.
They are legitimately evolving the story.
If I needed a number 4, like if I had found 4 already and I needed a number 5, I'd count it.
Valid.
Oh, and I'm also not counting DLC.
Yeah, no
I haven't
DLC.
found one yet.
Space Marine 2.
I haven't reached that yet. That
Ah,
era.
fair
I'm in. When is this? This is. Oh, I don't even know. This is. I think I'm in March. Like, there's some decent releases, but they're all. Some of them are niche, like Shin Megami Tensei 5. Good game for people who like that type of thing. So I'm looking for like big hits, like big games that people like. Generally, again, the Halo 2s, the thing, something something people were generally excited about. Ah, here's one. Oh wait, no, that's a re-release. Resident Evil 7 came out a couple years ago, and this is just a re-release for PC, for Mac. Xenozone Zero, it's technically triple, but it's mobile, so don't count it. I think Darkest Dungeon 2 released a few years ago, and even then, that's
Darkest Dungeon, I think, was last year.
and even then, it's an indie studio.
I think.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, Darkest Dungeon 2 was last year.
7 Days Titan got its 1.0 release this year, but again, that's an indie studio.
Oh.
This guy has 7 complete, but that released last year, a couple years ago. I think it released last year. It might have released this year.
Jesus
If it released
balls.
this year, even then, it wasn't as good as previous installments.
Like, even as I'm thinking of myself, like, I would have almost said Homeworld 3 for myself. But honestly, even though I had fun playing it, even though there was some awesome concepts to the lore that they added, but like as a overall, I thought I was going to be playing the game a lot more than what I did. Mainly because I only wanted to do the war games with friends, and haven't been able to do that yet. I have less than 80 hours on that game, and I honestly have not I booted it up yesterday just to show an example of something, but I haven't played it since last time Crit and I did a skirmish versus AI, which was months ago.
I found one. I haven't personally played it yet, but I've seen nothing but positive things. I've watched a bit of it. Black Myth Wukong. While it's not for everybody, even people outside the Souls genre are getting it. I'd say that is a game that could be considered a positive for the year. Like from a I think that's a AAA studio. I'm not even sure it's a AAA studio. It's not. I don't think it is. It's from Game Science. It doesn't have a big publisher. No, it's indie, technically.
Technically, we wouldn't. If BG3 was to have released this year, we wouldn't even be able to count that because Larian Studios was not a AAA studio. From what I understand,
Who published it? They weren't the ones who published it. Wizards of the Coast did. Did they?
No, Larian published it. Wizards didn't do shit other than say yes.
Except that also wouldn't count because, yeah, it's not a big list. One of the big companies.
Larian Studios was considered, from what I understand, a AA studio. So Baldur's Gate 3, if it had released this year, would not qualify under this criteria.
No. Yeah, I'm looking for the big company like Squaresoft, or Square Enix, Ubisoft, etc. You know, the names where I can say it and most people would know it.
Yeah.
Visions of Mana, I haven't played it, so I cannot count it. I haven't seen much about it. I've heard it's alright.
Final Fantasy 16 was last year.
Yep. Star Wars Outlaws bad, from what I hear. It's not general consensus good. Is really what I'm looking for.
Something's.
Helldivers 2
Indie studio.
was published by Sony.
Okay, so that's one then. And even then, they screwed pretty bad, and it was kind of a flat. It was, all right, unabatedly good. Okay, it had a short lifespan because you kind of saw everything pretty quickly. But all right, I'll qualify that. By the way, so we have one on the board, and I've just now reached Space Marine 2, which released last month,
Give or take.
So 2.
Hmm?
Oh, I'd say Astrobot was successful. A lot of people really like that. So that's 3. Although, yeah, it's not a remake or a remaster. And it's by Sony. Okay, so we have 3. Re-release.
Hell, Void Crew seeing its 1.0 release next month on the 25th, I believe, still wouldn't fall under the category. Satisfactory, which has received its 1.0 release update,
It wouldn't.
doesn't fall under the criteria.
No, I'm looking for something from the big names. That was like, yes. We have 3.
To be honest, AAA has been missing the mark a lot.
With anything that's not a re-release or remaster, absolutely.
Yeah, like, indie companies have been shining like diamonds the last couple of years.
Whereas, as you said, even like 15 years ago, I was tripping over AAA successes in the list.
Oh, God, yeah. Remember when we would look at the case and it's like platinum hits? We're like, oh.
I mean, they still do that, like...
It's not something that they really, like,
You mean back in the days when
broadcast
platinum
anymore.
hit meant something?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. This is very true.
I am almost up to... up to now.
God, now all of a sudden I remember a game that was supposed to have been a new franchise.
I guess Yakuza,
Or
but that wasn't unironically agreed on.
Hmm?
Yakuza Legend, or the one, I can't remember the name.
There's a lot of them.
The one that was released this year with where he went to Hawaii, that Kei-san was in.
I don't know, like 6, 7.
Oh, beyond that, it was the second one with Ichiban. I can't remember the name. It's like something about money or something like that.
Really? Okay, someone.
It's not called Yakuza. It's called Like a Dragon.
Yeah, it's Like a Dragon Yakuza. Where
Something.
in Japan it was called Yakuza, or Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yeah, I think they merged the name and just moved on to ones
Yeah.
that are not re-releases. It's going to be just Like a Dragon moving forward.
Yeah.
one title for me personally, following your criteria, that I would be able to say would be on my list would be Metaphor ReFantasio.
Who's that? Who published that?
Atlas.
Atlas. Studio has like a lot of people
Oh, I know Atlas.
that worked on P5.
Persona 5.
Yeah.
I'd say that's more of a niche hit. But fair. I'd say we could.
I mean, like, we weren't disqualifying anything niche. A lot of things are niche.
Well, I was looking for something that we could be like, this is, even if we don't like it, we can see the appeal. Like, Halo 2 is not my favorite game of all time, but I had a blast with it, and I got the hype around it. I'm like, okay, for people who like this sort of thing, this is like crack.
Halo 2 was like the worst one, in my opinion.
Oh,
But then again,
it polished the combat.
It did. It very much did. I just hated the That Halo 2 and 3 was the era where akimbo was the major fad, and the only way to truly win anything at all was akimbo. And I hated the SMG on 2. I thought it was a piece of shit.
Oh god,
and it
even
took away
last
my
year.
assault rifle.
Even last year was better.
Not really saying much because I don't remember much following the criteria that worked last year.
Let's see, I just saw one. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom wasn't as good as the first one, but a lot of people liked it. I'd say it was well received enough. It's not my cup of tea. Well, there was another Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6, big for the fighting game community. I'd say that was a success, and you know, I've watched it. It's a very, very solid fighting game, very popular, and I get it. So that's 2 at the very least. And I haven't even gotten to like the date list. Re-release. Forspoken was garbage.
Wait, which one?
Forspoken.
Oh.
Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush was great. But that was they were owned by Bethesda, and Bethesda was losing money. That's why Hi-Fi Rush got cut. Or not Hi-Fi Rush, Tango Gameworks. That's why they got shot in the foot. Because Bethesda overall was losing money because of their other shitty games. So, what they do with Bethesda, you're doing bad. You need to fire some people. They fired Tango. Oh, just like I said, it came out last year. It got its PC release this year. Hitman World of Assassination. It's IO Interactive. I don't know if I'd call them AAA. They make a few things. I mean, they're well known, but they're well known for doing like certain things, like Hitman.
I was gonna say Larian is being well known.
Yeah.
Though I think people are considering Larian a AAA studio now because of Baldur's Gate 3.
I'd be willing to give Baldur's Gate 3 like, was that last year?
It was last year.
So I'd give that. Yeah, I'd give it to that. It's a. You know what? That was so big. Even if it's not AAA, I'd give it to them.
It was massive, and the fact that it also won a shitload of awards.
Well, it was a fantastic game.
For the title by itself. Best voice actor went to it because, my god, the guy who plays Astarion went extra.
Oh,
he himself is extra, and god was he extra in the right way.
Did you ever make him a bard?
All those characters were lovable in their way.
Yeah. You ever make Astarion a bard? He has his own vicious mockeries.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
no.
voice acts the vicious mockeries.
Oh no.
Oh man.
You smell like a goblin. Ta-da! Shit like that.
There's hundreds of goblins out there. Hundreds? That'll take us hours to kill them all. She's right. We should just go around them. Astarion was a delicious character.
Like-
even.
The writing was great. I never finished it, not even close. I haven't even finished it. It's so much game that I'm just like...
Personally,
It's very daunting.
I think it would be easier for you in a multiplayer setting because then you're not managing every little thing.
Yeah, but then it's harder for me to focus on the story.
Depends on who you're playing with and what rules you set up.
Okay, fair.
Like, if you were to play with me, I would literally follow you like a tumor on your leg.
Fair. We could do that one of these days. One of these days when we have more time and things are less crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really not seeing much. I mean, last year was better than this year, but that's kind of a really low bar. Like a really low bar.
Really low.
In order to go under the bar, you have to dig a tunnel.
Yeah. Like, really, the only game that I can say this year was like, yeah! Everybody was like, yeah! That made the rounds that wasn't indie is Space Marine 2, and I don't even know who the publisher on that is.
Saber.
Yeah, I've never heard of Sega.
And that's not
As
even
an
like
individual studio, I don't think I have either. But I know that they worked on. They said that they worked on like the original Halo and all that.
Oh.
So I don't know if that was as a studio or if they had a bunch of Bungie members that helped make the studio or whatnot. I don't know the full setup on that. But they are, you know, at least as developers, veterans with a couple decades under their belt.
If we wanted to restrict it simply to the big boys, like household names, I don't think the household names have had a success in years that hasn't been a reboot, remaster, or re-release.
Yeah?
I can't think of one. Even Halo Infinite was like, meh.
Halo Infinite was...
Oof.
Infinite.
Bolt?
I regret buying Infinite. I really do.
Most people do. Yeah, I'm looking like the big games that were like Let's Players doing. They made the rounds because they were good. Most of them are like AA, indie. They're not like the house. There's no Square Enix. There's no fucking Street Fighter 6 is one of them.
Got to find Sam.
Astro Boy or Astrobot was one of them. If you can think of any, chat, if you can think of any, please let us know.
Yeah, chat, hit us with some of your ideas. Like, was there any big title that really stood out in the last 2 years?
Yeah, that came from like Sega or Capcom, Square Enix.
That is not a
Ubisoft.
reboot, not a remaster, anything.
Or a re-release.
Or
Has to be
re-release, yeah.
A new game or at least a sequel. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective was very popular amongst mystery people. And that was again Capcom. So Capcom's been at least doing some like sane choices. Capcom. They've been re-releasing their good stuff and making sequels to their good stuff, and they've been good sequels.
They're playing it safe, is what they're doing.
At least they're smart enough to do that and not dump into dumb shit.
I mean, are they releasing good? Are they re-releasing good titles? Yes, they're re-releasing titles that already did well, and they decided to milk it.
They made a sequel that was good.
But subjective.
The fighting game community is pretty universal, man.
But like, if we go and look at like what indies have brought out in the last 2 years,
That's easy.
Baldur's Gate 3. Let's look at how popular Pal World and Lethal Company were.
Remnant 2 was great.
Revenant 2, like, as much as I did not care for Lethal Company, I honestly tried with that game and I just could not vibe with it. Lethal Company took the community by storm. It was what, $5? $10?
Yeah. That's one of those things.
Definitely
It's like
a party game.
it's like if someone doesn't like chocolate, I can get it. As long as they recognize why other people like chocolate.
Yeah, like it was literally released on April 1st, aka April Fools, and it was released for free for 24 hours. Lethal Company took the community by such a storm that it was everywhere on YouTube and Twitch.
Here's a killer that came out. Honestly, Team 17. They're not really a trip. They do a lot of publishing. They have a lot of little studios under them. Blasphemous 2 came out last year. For Metroidvanias, huge. Last Fate came out this year. Huge for thing. Of course, Armored Core 6 came out. But anything from Software, like Bandai Namco, is letting From Software do whatever, and that's smart. Like Bandai Namco, you're making good decisions. I think they also... What else were they responsible for really recently? Oh. They did some of the Smash stuff. They did Chibi Robo. Video game franchises owned by...
I'm trying to think of the last AAA game I've played, and
I've been like, yes!
Well, I mean, if you say it that way, then
even like one where you can like get why everybody likes it. It's like, well, I might not personally like it, but I see why it's popular. I would say it's a good game. It's just not to my tastes, sort of thing.
God.
Persona 5.
But that was a while ago, man.
Persona 5. Yeah, that's definitely...
that goes to show how much I've been feeling about a lot of these games lately, doesn't it?
I really liked Ghost of Tsushima. That was great.
Ghost of Tsushima.
I have not played it.
I like Lies of P, but that's not AAA.
It feels like a good game, but I wasn't wowed to play it.
I haven't. But Sucker Punch makes good... I mean, they made Sly Cooper, they made Infamous. Whatever company is publishing them is smart enough, I guess Sony in that case, was smart enough to let them do what they do best.
Cook.
Now they're going to do Ghost of Yosei and hopefully...
Smart enough to cook.
I'd say the God of War, even if I didn't like it as much as the older ones, I'd say that was successful. I get why it was so popular. Ragnarok wasn't as popular necessarily. A lot of people played it because they played the first one. Really, the ones that, like... Not to be a fanboy, but the ones that have been, like... Because people are like, oh, Sony's really shooting themselves. But really, the only AAA releases that have been, like, bangers, even remotely, have been Sony.
I mean...
Can you think of a Microsoft one?
Microsoft has not been having as strong of a major major company success. Like, anything they have is not strictly Microsoft.
It's never been that way.
Microsoft has... Yeah. Microsoft has been... for the most part, was doing extremely well by supporting indie companies through their indie company program.
Yeah, like the Xbox Summer of Games back in the day?
Yeah, like, they willingly work with indie companies to get their games published and all that, and that was, like, a very successful strategy for them.
I can't think of a single Microsoft published game that got general praise.
I can't think of a Microsoft published game except Halo.
Yeah. I can think of ones that were dog shit. Or at the very least, not great.
Gears of War.
Gears of War. Like Gears of War and Halo. And those were, again, the 360 days. Like, I can't think of a single game on the series or the one that was like, Xbox cooked with this one.
Yeah. That's because anything that they did have was cross-platform, and so, you know, they got their money, but it wasn't like it was exclusives.
Well, you want to know why they haven't been doing well? Besides the fact that they were acquiring studios that actually weren't very good, they were just popular. Like Bethesda. Bethesda had a legacy, and the people who wrote back in the day for like Oblivion and stuff, sure, they were janky, but they had decent writing and stuff. The people who made those are generally gone from Bethesda.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think in the spirit of fairness, I think there is actually one detail that is being overlooked in the case of Microsoft, and that is the fact that in their business model, they are no longer looking at the concept of exclusives anymore. They are legitimately opening up a lot of their projects to be cross-platform, because if their titles, the way they're looking at it and rationalizing it, and it makes perfect sense to me, if they release their titles on more than just the Xbox, that means they have a much wider audience that they can reach with their titles and still make money.
Thanks.
Allow me to translate that from Corpo speak for you. We can't make good exclusives anymore. Because if it was making them money, they wouldn't care.
Except that if you go and look at it, the games that were making them money, they still ended up cross-platform. For example, Mass Effect was an Xbox exclusive title for the franchise until Mass Effect 3, where they made it for both the Xbox and PlayStation.
Mass Effect 2 was also on the PlayStation.
Eventually.
I think they went back and released it, yeah. But, having said that, it started off as an exclusive, but in order to make a larger profit on it, they opened it up to other platforms so that they could reach a wider audience. And in all honesty, the concept of exclusives only works if the console is selling well. And let's be perfectly honest, part of it was due to COVID, yes, but this current gen of consoles had an absolutely terrible launch.
What?
The PS5 by itself, though extremely popular, everyone was after it, had such a limited supply that it took years for that console to actually, spread its way out into the public. And then all of a sudden, now that everyone finally has their PS5 that wants one, all of a sudden they bring out the Pro, which has a horrendly high price, but with features that
no one cares about.
Yeah, no one cares about. Like, anyone who does is fooling themselves and thinking that it's actually going to change anything. Like, I looked it up. The current Xbox Series console has the ability to render games in 8K. And the PS5 Pro now is the newest thing out, and it now has 8K. And still, to this day, even though the Xbox Series has been out for a while, no title on the console can render at 8K. So who gives a shit? Like, by the time we start seeing games that can render 8K, we're gonna be on that next gen of consoles anyways.
Honestly, no one's gonna waste developer money to make sure their game looks great at a resolution that no one's gonna play at.
We hope.
I can tell you exactly why they released Mass Effect on the PlayStation. Because Halo 4 came...
sales?
No. Because they didn't have a good fiscal year that year. They had just lost 343 Industries after Halo 3. And Halo 4 that year was a month before Mass Effect. They probably...
Wait. No. 343 Industries did not do it. That was
They did
Bungie.
Halo 3. Or, sorry,
that
other
was
way
Bungie.
around, yeah. So they lost Bungie. Sorry, other way around, yeah. So they had just lost Bungie. And I bet someone somewhere in their hierarchy, because that's the only exclusive they had that year, they had a feeling it wasn't going to be good. Because they're switching developers. So what do? They release one of the best-selling games they had a hold on different systems to get a piece of the pie. To keep them floating. It's exactly why they did it, otherwise they wouldn't have, I bet.
Possibly. But
I mean,
overall,
they
as
didn't
a
release
main...
Starfield cross-platform. Or, what else was it? Originally they were going to do Redfall.
Was Starfield
It's exclusive.
before or after the Microsoft acquisition?
Starfield was after the Microsoft acquisition.
After. Okay.
Yes. Anything they've acquired, ever since their acquisitions, they initially were going exclusivity. But now that they've shit the bed with that, of course they're changing their tune. Because it hasn't made them money, and the investors are fucking pissed. So if they want to stay as a company, they're going to do what worked for them before. Release it cross-platform. The popular games.
Yeah.
If they
And
look at
honestly, cross-platform titles, I personally think should have been the way they should have been going for a long time.
And let's be honest.
Exclusivity was, honestly, in my opinion, anti-consumer.
True. You're not wrong.
And with that, exclusive titles was not trying to get you to, stay over and only play those certain games. It was to encourage people to buy their console.
Yeah, their hardware.
And if the console does not sell well, the concept of exclusive titles becomes forfeit.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, even though I was a huge Xbox fan, I wasn't a raging diehard fanboy, but I liked Xbox for the longest time when it first came out because it had a lot of awesome titles that I loved. But I'm going to be perfectly honest, Xbox hasn't released almost anything that really screams out, look at me.
In a long time.
In a long time. If they did, it was on PC too, so I can play it on PC now that I'm mostly a PC player now.
And a lot of people are.
Yeah, and I honestly kind of regret having ever bought my Xbox One. Like, I think the last real time I ever really played it, Alien Isolation, I think was the last Xbox title I played.
Bought an Xbox.
And I say Xbox title to push the fact that it was on the Xbox. I do not know if it was cross-platform or not. I'm not trying to say it was an exclusive.
Right.
It was just one of the last titles I ever played on the Xbox. And that was quite a while ago now.
Mm-hmm. Here's how I judge it. I haven't bought an Xbox since 360, and I have not missed out on any notable games.
Yeah.
I don't play my PS5 really. It's just my YouTube.
Not good. Definitely not.
I get home,
PlayStation hangs on.
I turn my
because it does have
PS5 and I turn on YouTube.
like PlayStation has good exclusives. Unfortunately,
What
they're trying to pull
exclusives?
in Ghost of Tsushima.
It's
Just went
not
on PC.
exclusive.
Not
It's-
anymore.
Yeah, but
That's recent.
it's on PC though.
Yeah, but that's recent. That's this year.
Back off!
Sony only started doing the PC launches this year. Why? Because they're shitting the bed with the exclusives. Because they haven't made a good game.
Final Fantasy 16 was supposed to have been last December, but the studio was having a lot of issues with the port, and it didn't get released until this summer, I think it was.
So they would have started end of last year. December
End
of
of
last
last
year, that counts basically as this year.
Yeah, the fact that it was not successfully released until halfway through this year, it doesn't count for last year.
Maybe God of War was last year? Maybe?
Yeah, I don't remember the last time.
Oh,
I
go ahead.
haven't bought a lot of PS5 games at all. Like, I know I have a lot of PS4 games, but like I have like 3 PS5 games and only one of them is a disc.
You know what company would have imploded without exclusivity? Nintendo.
Yeah.
They have a vice grip on their copyright, and they still know how to use them for the most part, to a degree.
I have to admit, I originally bought my PS5 because of the fact that I saw the Final Fantasy 7s were supposed to be exclusive to it. All of a sudden they came out PC.
Because didn't you hear they didn't perform enough?
Horizon, well, Sony keeps saying their games don't perform.
It's because they're spending too much. They're Hollywooding it.
Yeah, well, even though they go make buku bucks, they make a huge profit. They're like, it didn't make enough.
Yeah,
so I literally take Sony saying it didn't perform well enough with as much confidence as someone flat out telling me that I like sour cream. I don't believe it.
Yeah. I agree. It's because they're giving Hollywood budgets to these games.
Well, no, they make. I'm saying specifically profits. They're making
more
huge.
profits.
They're making huge profits, but then they go and say it didn't perform financially as well as they were hoping, and they don't even give a goal as to what they were aiming for. Even though they made like I don't know, $550 million surplus or profits or something. Well, what were you aiming for? $1 trillion? What is the goal? But so the new Final Fantasy 7s and Horizon franchise I was mainly going for when it came to the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
So I saved money and bought me a PS5 so I could play these games.
And I do prefer the PS5 controller.
And even my PS5 went for several months without me even looking at it. Like, if not for the fact that it's always in my peripheral, or all of my consoles were in my peripheral while sitting at my computer, I would forget that I own these consoles. I play the Switch more than I do the PS5, and some of my games are exclusive. I just wanted to be able to play it when not at my computer. And it wasn't until Space Marine 2 came out. My computer is old enough that I have to basically completely replace, because if I go to upgrade it, I would still be replacing the whole damn thing anyways. My computer can't run Space Marine 2.
Right.
And so I had to get it, and then I had to get it on the PlayStation. And then right after Space Marine 2 released came Metaphor Revantasios, and I just bought that on the PS5 as well, knowing full well my computer would probably still have the exact same issue. There is another game that I wanted to get because they have literally put it on sale for like $27.
Wait, no!
Until it fully releases, and when it does fully release, the developers flat out have a trailer where they legit tell everybody when it fully releases it's only going to be $50. Flat out. The Never-Ending Winter, I think is what it was called. Let me see. The Forever Winter.
Yeah, our mutual friend, Sillin. I saw him playing the beta for that.
Yeah. Like,
Another good guy company.
yeah.
So,
like, I want to play Forever Winter. When I heard their message, when I saw what the game looked like, even though it doesn't normally... its concept is not what I would normally go after, but it kind of like the world looks cool. The concept sounds cool. I want to at least give it a shot. I can't play it on my computer. My computer cannot run it at all.
no.
And consoles don't do early access.
They do demos every once in a while.
And they'll do demos, but there is no demo on the PS5.
They do early access for free games, like free to plays.
Woohoo!
Nah. What was I gonna say?
Would you like me to open up a low quality crate of champagne?
I can't drink. Pop the Martinelli.
Here. You instead of wine, let me get you a grape juice box.
No, thank you. I had a thing. I can't remember it now. Oh yes, now I remember. Another studio. Did you ever play? I'm pretty sure Crit played it. Shadows of the Damned. It was a over-the-shoulder third-person shooter. The main character was named Garcia Hotspur. His gun was like his talking skull companion.
Shadows.
Or did you ever play Lollipop Chainsaw? Same studio.
Fuck.
Shadows.
It was one of those kind of cult hit titles that you may have, you may not. I mean, I loved it.
I think I watched you play a little bit.
Where like it was like bones and teeth were the ammunition.
Something like that, yeah. Like I think it came out when you were still at the townhouse, and I came up and you were showing it off to me for a little bit.
Yeah, because I was like, well, you'll respect this, but it might not be your thing. I think
yeah.
that's right. So they're doing a remaster. They're polishing it and everything. And it's releasing at like either $30 or $40, can't remember. And they're putting a lot of effort into it, like revamping the soundtrack. They're adding a bit of content.
Okay.
People like, because you know sometimes a low price is like a red flag. It's like, uh-oh. Someone asked them why the low price, and they're like, it's an old game that we're polishing. We don't want to rip you guys off. And I'm like, Grasshopper Studios, I was already gonna buy it. I think it's out now. But I'm like, I respect you.
The developers from Saber?
No.
No. This is off to the side.
The way you said that sounded like a question.
No. The way that they really earned my respect was, the 3.0 patch did some things that the community wasn't fond of. 4.0 came out to address it and add new things.
Okay, come on.
And there was a lot of balance decisions that upset the community. The developers at Saber listened to it, and they released a letter saying, part of the letter, literally verbatim, to the best of my ability off the top of my head, we forgot that when we released this game, it was no longer our game. It is your game. And we forgot about that.
What?
So, to address the ordeal of them having made, decisions that were not popular in terms of balancing, they, in that same letter, before releasing 4.1, announced that they were going to release, or they were going to set up beta test servers to allow the community to opt into, to try out new changes that the studio is working on for balancing and all that, new ideas, and get the community's feedback, and then take whatever succeeds would then be released to the main game.
Yeah. Almost like supporting your community guarantees success.
Exactly.
Because again, if I had the money, you and I talked about this before, where the cosmetic DLC they have right now, I'm not particularly interested in. It's like the season pass. But if I had that money, if I had that money kicking around, I would get that just to support them.
Yeah.
Now,
if the season pass suddenly comes out with Salamander, my money could not fly out of my account fast enough.
Yeah, because then that's something you want. And
I would admit I would simp on some cosmetic DLC if I could get me my salamanders.
That's why I like Killing Floor 2. Killing Floor 2, I never really flinched with the DLC. Sure, it was a little more than I'd like to spend, but two things. One, if one person in the lobby had the DLC, everyone could use it.
Yes, which was a fantastic idea. Not because it allowed people to, have access to more shit without having to spend money, but it was actually an excellent idea in terms of marketing, because all of a sudden there'd be like, you know what, I really do like this field medic gun that just fucking saved the day on this round.
It's on sale. I'll pick it up.
I'm gonna go buy it now, because all of a sudden I just had my hands on it. I loved what I saw. I loved what I was feeling. Now I'm gonna spend a little bit of extra money. Like that was it's a good idea, and there has been other games that have been doing the same concept. It's not a very popular amongst developer and publishers to do so, but the ones that have done it, I think, are making good decisions.
They're investing long term in a community. Like the reason Payday 3 didn't do well is because a bunch of the people responsible for Payday 2's success left, and they're making. It's funny. There was a day when I was playing Cyberpunk, right? Okay. And I'd been playing Payday 3 off and on because they added a bunch of content, and I'm like, why not? I already own it, and I have a shooter itch up my butt, so I played some Payday 3 for a while.
Oh my god! Oh jeez!
And I thought, because I was playing both of these, I'm like, holy crap! No one's done a Cyberpunk heist game like Payday and Cyberpunk mixed.
Need a hand?
The same day, I see a trailer for Den of Wolves, which is a Cyberpunk heist game by some of the minds behind Payday 2. I was like, shit. Yeah, it's called Den of Wolves, and I'm excited for it. I don't know if there's a trailer out. I mean, there's a short, trailer. I don't know if there's actually, Den of Wolves. Obviously there's, a theatrical trailer. I don't know if there's one describing what'll be in it. Oh! Well, you're gonna want it. So you know why? So, some of the people from Payday 2 came out, and do you know what the other studio working on it is? The guys who made GTFO.
No, I'm not gonna buy it. Want to know why? I have a very legit reason. Because
What?
you two chicken fuckers...
GTFO's too fucking hard!
Bullshit! They made it easier by giving us checkpoints and shit. Don't give me that bullshit anymore. We can do it. We can do it.
Well, you know what? We'll do it on stream one of these days, even if I have to stream it.
No, it's not gonna be on stream. It's too dark.
Oh, fair.
Can't see
we'll do it one of
anything.
these nights. We'll make a night of it.
Viewers will not be able to see anything.
Oh, there's a creative director. So 10 Chambers is the
Oh my god, he's still chasing me! Ah.
this is an interview with the creative director. I'm the creative director and I make shit.
That's stop effing around and make the game.
He's talking to himself.
Oh. No, I'll watch that after
Yeah.
stream. You know, it's funny. We got onto this whole topic because of games like Bailguard and shit.
Like, the one thing that you were good at BioWare, why?
Like, when I heard Dragon Age 4, I was stupid excited. Like, yes! Let's go! We can do it!
Then they had some fight the Canary, which
That
I was
was
like,
dumb
okay,
of me.
that's not a deal breaker, but it is a red flag. And then I saw the review from Skill Up.
Well,
And he's a very generous man.
just issue after issue after issue
Mm-hmm.
after issue. I have stopped for a while now. Thinking of BioWare as a company that has been able to grab my attention.
I bet they lost a lot of their people.
Yeah, they've lost a shitload of people. Starting back with Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I?
Anthem was an interesting concept.
There was a lot of issues. The wrong team in BioWare was given the job.
Oh, that was the shooter they were making. That was the one that EA made them do.
Yeah.
At the same time, they made what single player game did they have
So-
Respawn do?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I do know that BioWare had multiple locations. The BioWare group that should have been the ones tasked with Anthem
It was Jedi Fallen Order.
should have been, I believe it was the Austin, Texas location. Do not quote me on that. But it should have been that studio because they were the team that did did all of the work on Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. They had the experience with the concept of a shooter. They had the experience of balancing and all that. They had the knowledge needed to have had a good, strong starting foundation. They gave it to their Toronto location, if I remember location correctly. But a completely different team. A team who had no experience at all doing a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Or balancing or anything like that. So they were starting completely from scratch. And on top of that came management issues. There was a lot of mismanagement. There was a lot of back and forth as to what they were going to be doing with it. The concept of being able to fly was taken off and put back on the table like 5 times. And it wasn't until a head from EA coming in and trying the game out and saying that he absolutely loved the flight is what solidified that flight was going to be in the game.
Which the flight was decent.
Oh, I loved the flight. Like the way the world looked and everything, and flight. I actually legitimately would do just the open world portion, where you just fly around and do whatever, and you can play with random people. I would do that and just fly around for a while. I would do that for like
even
2
the
hours.
combat was fine. It was just how repetitive things got and the lack of content.
It was lack of content because in order to hide the lack of content, all of a sudden you hit that wall that required you to do all these different objectives that did not start tracking from the beginning of the game. They started tracking the moment you hit that, and it was meant to it was artificially stuffed.
Yeah.
Like for playtime, but there was no content for it.
Yeah, it was at the same time lacking content and bloated.
Yeah.
So, here's the big irony, Dracon. So as I said, they had BioWare do a multiplayer game, which was Anthem, and they had Respawn do a single-player game. And I'll get to what single-player game that is in a second. So what is Respawn known for? They're known for Apex Legends and Titanfall. Those are both sci-fi shooters, right? With a lot of mechanical themes, like robots and stuff.
Right.
And BioWare is known for Star Wars and good storytelling.
Right.
They had BioWare make Anthem, and they had Respawn make a Star Wars game.
Well, we all know EA is full of morons.
Like, all they had to do was switch the studios. Because, yeah, Respawn made Jedi Fallen Order, which was okay. It wasn't, like, terrible. But if they had flipped those roles, EA would be rolling in money.
Yeah.
There's another BioWare Star Wars game and a Respawn next shooter.
As much as EA claims that they want to make more and more money, EA is allergic to making more and more money.
Most companies seem to be, especially this year.
Like, at the time of only a few years ago, EA had a CEO who they let go because his decisions were costing the company. We are talking about a man who just as recently as earlier this year caused another scandal over the same practices. He, at one point during a conference, suggested the idea that video games were not being monetized enough.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
And as an example, he brought up the idea of when playing a shooter game, we'll say Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, just to throw out a shooter title, right? You're playing multiplayer, and you're doing so good, but you just ran out of ammo.
The thing I just linked is 70
Right.
seconds if you get a chance.
Right? But you ran out of ammo. So how
I
about
remember this.
how about we put up a prompt to
Buy ammo.
say press X to buy an ammo injection for 99 cents.
I remember
Hey.
this shit.
99 cents, and all of a sudden you have ammo again, so you can keep killing people in an online shoot, right? For a match that lasts 10 minutes, right?
Oh, fuck.
I wish that
My
man a
wallet
very good
hurts.
go fuck yourself.
This same man went on to become the CEO of Unity.
He's the reason.
He is the reason, because what he did
It's their fault
was
for hiring him.
Indeed, but his decision was to tell video game makers that they're not monetizing their games enough, especially MOBAs and mobile gaming.
You're not
And
monetizing your
that-
Genshin enough.
and that for any download of their thing
They were
would
gonna
cost
charge.
they were going to charge a fee,
Yeah.
meaning that the company is the developers are going, hey, we just suddenly had a huge surge of people wanting to play our game again. They just re-downloaded the game. All of a sudden, we have to pay you extra money?
Yeah, and all that did was cause a mass exodus from developers away from Unity.
Yeah.
Especially since Unreal 5 came shortly after.
I think Unreal 5 was before that.
Was it?
I think
even
so.
worse. Even worse timing.
And all of a sudden, along with this, Unity had a very silent change to their terms of service.
I remember.
I don't remember everything regarding it, but it definitely covered the the new charge and all that, and the mass exodus of studios that were using
Fuck, there's an
Unity
AFK guy.
were now leaving. Caused a massive loss of income for Unity, and they had to backpedal pretty much everything. From what I understand, there was confusion within Unity as a company itself when it came to communication about these changes, because some of their employees, including their customer support and whatnot, had no idea what was going on.
I think some of these people like him, morons, let's call them, they get the impression that they're selling a necessity. No, we're selling a luxury. If you start to do things people don't like, there's an amount of bullshit people will put up with. But there's going to be a point where they're going to say, no, this isn't food or toilet paper. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And you're going to crash hard.
Yeah.
For people like him, who want to burn the goodwill of people actively, he made his paycheck already. He's probably set for life. So he can suck it. But people like him are the problem.
Yeah. But yeah, Unity, after that whole debacle, proceeded to get rid of the guy as well.
I hope so.
Yeah, I should hope so, because that was a huge ordeal. Like, people were talking about that for like at least, 3 months? Absolutely ridiculous mindset to ever have. Like, you're telling the people who are buying your product, that you are selling your product to, flat out telling them you're not monetizing your own product enough, but I'm certainly going to monetize my product anyways. Give me more money. It's just like
It's stupid. Stupid.
It's like, who do you think you are? You act like you're the CEO of a shitload of companies when you're the CEO of a single company, and you just shot yourself in the foot so damn hard that I hope it forever ruins your future career. No one should ever hire you.
He changes to be a better person. Let's be positive. But as long as he has that mindset, no.
I am long past the stage in life where I'm willing to be positive over stupid people.
That's the thing is, that's unhealthy for you. Like, screw them. That's not good for you.
No. So if he learned his mistake from when he was at EA, I would have been willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. The fact that he did, excuse me, the fact that he did the exact same bullshit move after being removed from EA and did it at Unity, the exact same thing. He's not learning his lesson. He doesn't care. Why should I waste my time, energy, and thought process to even contemplate caring if he ever learns from this? He's rich, most likely, and he has nearly ruined the careers of how many people with his stupidity. Why should I care whether or not he ever turns a new leaf? Toss him to the streets, that's where he belongs.
Because if you don't believe in redemption for others, it's much more difficult to believe in redemption for yourself.
I will believe in redemption when you start looking at yourself and realizing you have a problem and need to work on it. He is not willing to do that.
Well, we don't know that. He just hasn't done it. I mean, presumably you're not wrong. Presumably he doesn't give a shit, and presumably he never will. But, for the sake of my own morals, it makes me less to wish him ill. And why would
I don't want to wish him ill, but I do not want to wish him into a position that threatens the good health and life's changing styles for other people.
Oh yeah, no.
He keeps getting hired as a CEO, which means he is suddenly making decisions that has now repeatedly put the livelihood of hundreds, if not thousands of people at risk. I do not wish to give him... I mean, I'm not wishing him homeless. Like I said, he's most likely rich, but in terms of the business scene, throw him to the streets. Do not hire him.
No.
Do not make him a CEO. Do not put him in a position of power where he can make decisions.
Yeah,
he has proven to be
taken away, and so he has proven to abuse that toy, so he gets it taken away.
Yeah. Am I wishing him dead? Absolutely not. Am I wishing him to lose everything? Absolutely not. I just don't want to see him in a position where he can do that to others because he's a fucking moron.
Terrible, yeah. No, I
believe every life has, value. Mm-hmm. But when one life,
we're only human. There's some exceptions.
Yeah, but when one life threatens the livelihood of hundreds or thousands, at no fault of their own, other than doing what they were told. Yeah. And even then, if you go and not do what you're told, that you still end up losing your job.
Yeah.
I will not support the one.
No, you are correct. I won't support him. Yeah. Not even close.
At all.
Unless he changes. I put that out into the universe that if that were to happen, yeah.
I will acknowledge, if that was to happen, I would acknowledge that it has happened, and...
It'll have to genuinely happen.
And I would proceed to wait to see if he continues on that path.
Yeah, I wouldn't, jump on it, but I'd be like, okay, good decision. Let's see what comes of this.
Yeah. That man made an enemy of himself in the gaming community.
For obvious reasons.
For very obvious reasons.
I fully believe he should suffer the consequences of his actions. Which his consequences should be fairly...
They should be fair. Yeah, they should be fair.
Well, I was going to say very serious.
I mean, his decisions had very serious ramifications.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's made terrible decisions, and he should suffer the consequences of that. That's just the way life should be.
Yeah.
Because, someone so miserly and greed-hearted.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of, Grasshopper Studios or Suda51 being like, we made a fun game, it's a re-release, we're going to charge you less for it. We still got to make money because we did put effort into it, but there you go.
Yeah. Hey, so speaking of money, this isn't video games directly.
By all means.
I I was at our local game store, Phoenix Fire.
Ooh,
And-
put a pin in that. I need to go use the bathroom.
All right.
Well,
Go ahead and end the stream. I need to go.
okay. With your permission.
I know. Listen here, you. You know that's not how I meant it. If I'd only known you for a couple years, I would take that on the chin, but we've known each other for over 2 decades. You know that's not how I mean it.
Sorry, Crit, but I'm flat out refusing to let you end stream here. You have to go another 3 hours.
What?
So our friendship is an electoral college. I actually carry more votes than Dracon does because I've known you longer, so you still get to end the stream.
Bitch, this is a dictatorship. I'm king.
Emphasis on dick.
Oh, my
I'll be
gosh.
back.
Well, this has been a
Vocal session?
yeah, I don't even know what you guys were talking about because like I can't walk and talk at the same time.
That's fair.
like I was picking up words while I was like waiting to be unhooked, right? It's like, oh, all right. What are they talking about now? CEOs, great. But I thank you all for watching. If you liked my stream, please do a like, subscribe if you haven't, and
Your schedule.
what do I normally say after this? Schedule? Is that how it goes? Thank you for watching. Like my stream, please subscribe, like if you liked it. I stream every Wednesday and Friday starting 7 p.m. Pacific time. Next week is this Sunday is the end of summertime, and so for those of you who don't live in summertime, the stream will be happening, let's see, an hour earlier than the previous 6 months of the year.
Oh god, is it daylight savings?
Yeah. Well, I mean, summertime is going to end, so it's technically daylight savings is ending. It was fall back.
November 3rd.
Yeah. Fall clock turns back an hour. Oh wait, so wait a minute. What time is it gonna be next week? Is it gonna be 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock for people?
Daylight savings looks like it happens on the 3rd, which is Sunday.
Yes. We're gonna experience 2 o'clock twice.
But that won't affect your stream Friday.
I mean, I'll still be streaming. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but next week, starting next week.
Oh yeah, next week would be God, how do you word
So wait,
it's
maybe
what?
hour later, 8 o'clock, cause or is it?
Well,
No. We
clocks
experience.
will automatically update with everything connected to the internet.
Yeah, but the rest of the
satellite.
world doesn't.
Europe does.
Oh, doesn't. Like America's the only place where that has daylight savings time.
They had. I have friends in Europe that mentioned daylight savings like a week or 2 ago. They already had it.
God damn it! You're gonna make me extend my stream. What countries respect daylight savings time? Let's see. Most European countries observe daylight savings time, with the exception of Romania, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Georgia, Iceland, Russia, and Turkey. Most of North America observes it, including United States, Canada. However, Hawaii and most of Arizona do not observe daylight savings time.
Like, I originally thought it was just America, because I thought we were idiots. But...
Well, it had to come from... No.
I think America started the concept, because I think it was Benjamin Franklin
Somebody like that.
who brought it up, but I don't know for sure.
Right. Well, times are changing. Thank you all for
Times are
watching.
changing.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Happy
night, all.
Happy Halloween, whether or not
Happy Halloween.
you celebrate the day. May
All
your day,
Hallows.
may your tomorrow be filled with tons of sweet food. No cavities. Good night.